And welcome back. We continue this week's focus on women in politics by spending some time with Nebraska's senior U.S. Senator, Republican Deb Fischer, a University of Nebraska graduate beginning in 2005. Mrs. Fischer served as a two-term state member of the Nebraska unicameral, and then in 2012 defeated former U.S. Senator Bob Kerrey in a race for one of the state's 2 Senate seats. Her current term expires in 2018. Among the committees that she serves on is the Armed Services Committee, and she chairs a subcommittee on emerging threats and capabilities. And good morning, Senator. We're very glad to have you with us this morning.
Good morning. It is wonderful to be here.
Good to have you back in Siouxland, even if it's for a short period of time, I guess.
We're having a busy day.
You have been out touching base with folks across Siouxland and Norfolk and in South Sioux City. How was the discussion? I would imagine it's an important thing for you to be able to get back and see people eye to eye, hand to hand, and hear what's on their mind.
Oh, it's vital. You know, it's vital that I'm out and traveling the state and listening to the concerns of Nebraskans. Plus, I enjoy it. I love being out and traveling our beautiful state and crossing the border into Iowa every now and then. But it is just wonderful to be out. And as I said, it's important to me. It's how I do my job, is to listen to what's on people's minds. And I learn that by the questions they ask me.
And we'll make sure we let Senator Ernst know that she stopped by and shared some time as well.
Oh, she is wonderful. She's a wonderful addition to the Senate.
Let's talk about really the big news this week following the death of Anthony Scalia and the changes that are coming for the United States Supreme Court. Your thoughts today on the discussion that President Obama should or should not make that appointment, or at least recommend somebody for the appointment?
The president nominates. That's his job under the Constitution. But it is the job then of the Senate to confirm or not to confirm. I take that responsibility very, very seriously. It will be one of the biggest things that I will ever do in the United States Senate. It is a generational decision that we will be making.
So you're telling me that you're willing to make that decision on the appointment, not on a political stance, that right now, from the political standpoint on the presidential race at least, it seems to be very political, not based on the personality and the standpoint of that appointment or that nominee.
You know, it is very political, but I guess we've been put in that situation because of past actions by our friends on the other side of the aisle. The Senate has not confirmed a nominee in over 80 years in the last year of a president's term. In fact, Chuck Schumer, back in George W. Bush's time as president, in the last 18 months of President Bush's presidency, Chuck Schumer said that he would not look at any more confirmation of Bush appointees. So I guess our friends kind of laid down the rules, the precedent that's out there on this, and we'll see what happens.
Are you concerned at all that this could be a backlash on the Republican Senate, that it could be taken that way and come back to haunt the party?
Oh, I doubt it. You know, if anything, I think it's a backlash on the Democrats. I hate to be partisan about this issue, but what I hear from Nebraskans, and I heard a lot of it, was about the nuclear option that took place under Harry Reid a couple years ago, where the rules were broken to change the rules. It is political. This is a major decision. This is a decision, I believe, that the American people must weigh in on, and we're going to be listening to the American people on this.
Anti-establishment candidates certainly are making a lot of noise on the campaign trail in both parties. Is that reverberating through Washington these days, or is Washington, as we know it, have its ear mufflers on?
Oh, I think in Washington we're trying to do our job. And I would say to you that a lot of times some of the noise out there doesn't really reflect what's taking place. You know, yes, this country is polarized, and the Senate is polarized, but I continue to look for ways to work with my colleagues on issues, and we can work together. I've been successful in that. That's been one of the things that I made a priority when I was elected, that I was going to develop good relationships with Republicans and Democrats alike. That's the only way we can get things done. You know, I always use Cory Booker as an example. Here's a Democrat from New Jersey who's a vegan, and I work with him on a number of issues, and I'm a conservative Republican from Nebraska, and I'm a cattle rancher. So we work on a number of things. We just were able to get a Safe Pipe Act passed out of a committee that I chair, a subcommittee on the Commerce Committee dealing with surface transportation and merchant marine, and Corey is my ranking member. We worked on that issue together. It's a great bill. It's a great bill. Hopefully we can get that done. And for the citizens in Nebraska and Iowa and South Dakota, there's things we can work on together, and there's going to be just areas where we will disagree. But we shouldn't demonize each other. We shouldn't make this about emotion and saying kind of rude things out there. You know, let's just be honest about what the issue is and where we stand on it.
So is the campaign that Donald Trump is running right now bother you at all? Saying what you just said, that's not exactly the way Mr. Trump has acted on the campaign trail.
You know, I think the Republicans have some great candidates out there, and it shows the big tent of our party. This is going to be an election that we're going to be talking about for a long time. We watch the Republican debates, and they get a little spicy at times. Right. But you watch the Democrat debates, and the same could be said there. This is a change. This is frustration of our citizens that is showing on both sides. You know, who would have guessed that Hillary Clinton would not be going through a coronation? That's what we all heard. It was going to be a coronation for Hillary Clinton. My gosh, look at Bernie Sanders and the following and the excitement with his campaign. We see it on both sides.
You've come out and said you're supporting Marco Rubio, a fellow senator from Florida. Just quickly, what is it about him that sets him apart for you? You
know, I have endorsed Marco Rubio. I do serve on the Armed Services Committee.
Which he's also a member, right?
He is not. He is on the Foreign Relations Committee and Intelligence.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons I am so supportive of him is I understand what the threats are to this country. As you mentioned, I chair the Emerging Threats Subcommittee of the Armed Services Committee. We deal with cybersecurity, special forces, and counterterrorism. Senator Rubio has a deep knowledge and a deep understanding of these threats. He understands and he can analyze information that he receives about the dangers in this world. He understands the global situations that we are facing and really the challenges that are out there. And I believe that Americans are looking to elect someone who will be a strong commander-in-chief, and that's Marco Rubio.
Talk about campaigning. You still have a couple of years until you'll have to make a decision, but where are you in that process? As I mentioned earlier, your term will expire in 2018. Should we expect to see you on the campaign trail?
You know, I love the job that I have in representing Nebraskans in the United States Senate. It is such an honor for me to be there and to be able to express their concerns and their views on the issues. I love traveling my state and visiting with Nebraskans. We'll see what happens in the future.
Okay, sounds good. We greatly appreciate you taking time to be with us in studio this morning. Safe travels, and we sure hope we can have you back again.
I would love to come back. Thank you so much.
You bet. We'll take a break, but then we'll come right back, so stay with us.